Hey, what's up? It's the Field, Preston Highfield. Thank you all so much for listening, liking, and subscribing on YouTube, Substack, Apple, and Spotify. Got a longer pod coming out a bit later. Going to preview the Oregon and Indiana game, the Miami Ole Miss game, talk about a couple other college football topics. But I wanted to get on right away, just real time, put out a video of this Demond Williams Jr. stuff because it's insane. I'm following the Bruce Feldman reporting through The Athletic. I'm following the Ross Dellinger reporting through Yahoo. Obviously read the Instagram post that the young man put out as well. Let me just set this stage with what's actually happening here. So from Bruce Feldman, one of the goats of college football writing, I've interviewed him many times. In the wildest portal story yet, Washington star QB Demond Williams Jr. announced he's entering the transfer portal after agreeing to a new deal to stay at UW with a contract The Athletic has learned that he signed 4 days ago. Okay, just read you the first couple sentences of this story. Just days after Demond Williams Jr. signed a contract with Washington to return to Seattle for his junior season, the quarterback reversed course and announced Tuesday night he would enter the transfer portal. The shocking decision sends ripples through the Washington program and the college football transfer portal. Williams had signed a contract agreeing to return to the Huskies, a Washington source close to the negotiations told The Athletic Tuesday night. Yet, Williams said on an Instagram post that transferring was best for me and my future. And then here's where it gets even more interesting. Washington has no intention of releasing Williams from the contract he signed on January 2nd, a program source told The Athletic. The dispute could lead to a messy debate over the circumstances surrounding Williams' status. Really quickly, here's the IG post. He said, "Forever thankful, Husky Nation." Wrote a couple paragraphs at the end. "I have to do what is best for me in my future. After much thought and prayer, I will be entering the transfer portal. Thank you." Okay. I'm going to get to a couple different angles here. Really quickly, just to put a bow on the reporting, Ross Dellinger, Yahoo Sports, just won a sports writing award. This dude is a fantastic investigative journalist with college sports. An updated thread on the Demond Williams situation. Williams signed a 1-year revenue share agreement with UW worth about $4 million. The agreement is a Big Ten template document used by all league members and built for situations like this. The agreement prohibits a player from entering the portal once signed. This is why UW is refusing to enter his name into the portal, and prohibits the player's NIL rights to be used by any other school. Big Ten Commissioner Tony Petitti, coincidentally in Seattle this week for a memorial service, is heavily involved in the matter, along with other Big Ten officials. The league is standing behind UW's fervent approach to the contract. Okay, so basically, Washington officials are expected to communicate later today with Demond Williams' reps regarding the situation and next steps. With UW refusing to enter Williams into the portal, he is not permitted to hold conversations with other programs. That's right. This is also kind of interesting and funny, and I'm going to get to this too. UW officials suspect that Williams has already held conversations with other programs, and the school plans to submit any tampering evidence to the league and the NCAA. LSU is believed to be the school most interested in Williams. That's why that picture was going viral of Sam Levitt and Lane Kiffin at the basketball game last night for Levitt's visit, his tour to LSU. Told you guys about that the other day. Okay. There's a couple different angles here. Like, first of all, it's just a terrible look for Demond Williams and anyone involved with him, right? Like, you signed a contract for $4 million a couple days ago. Again, if this reporting is true, many outlets, including some of the best sports writers in the world, are reporting that this is fact. So you would think it's fact. So we're going with that. We're trusting Ross Dellinger and we're trusting Bruce Feldman, a couple of the goats in college sports writing. Okay. So you sign a contract for $4 million, right? And then you suddenly want out of it. And it's not like Washington's getting a new coach. Jedd Fisch is rumored to be going to Michigan for a while. Obviously, Whittingham gets that job. It's not like there's a different QB coming for your job. But yet you're still signing out of it anyway. And the reason that this is even possible in the first place, like, it's tough to fully criticize Demond Williams, not because he's young, not because he's getting paid. You can absolutely criticize him for being paid and being young. It's tough to criticize him because it's technically something that I don't think is going to be unique to him. I think you're going to see this happen with other high-profile athletes in the future who are simply fed up with their school or their situation, even though they're under NIL contract. And the reason that's the case is because there's currently no governing body of college football. None. When remember when everyone was talking about how bad the NCAA was and the NCAA is screwing everyone over and God, wouldn't life just be so much better without NCAA involvement? Here you go, folks. Here you go. This is what happens when there's no governing body in the sport. This is what happens. Exactly what Damon Williams is doing, trying to get out of a $4 million deal that he signed, which is an absurd amount of money to begin with. But you wanted this, like you, America, largely wanted this. You wanted the NCAA to not exist with regards to governing college football. So here you go. You happy now? Of course you're not, right? Of course you're not. And we absolutely need a governing body in college athletics, desperately. At the moment, the Power 4 conference commissioners, I'm talking about just governing college football right now. The Power 4 conference commissioners and the Notre Dame AD, they have the power to a degree because they have all the media deals, right? They're the ones who literally need to be in the room and sign the paperwork, along with the presidents, I believe, to make the media deals happen, which is where the majority of revenue comes from in Power 4 athletics in general, really, is college football media deals, these billionaire deals. Okay. So, but until we have a governing body, all of this stuff is just free for all, man. Like, it's year to year. The second the portal opens, Sam Leavitt, one of the great QBs in the sport, he's gone. He's touring LSU. By the way, the irony of all this happened, the irony of the Lane Kiffin, Sam Leavitt picture is that it was widely reported that Sam Leavitt was going to go tour Tennessee the next day. I think he's there right now as we're recording this on Wednesday. Like, Lane Kiffin and Sam Leavitt were sitting next to each other. That very well could be a duo this year. By the way, Sam Leavitt is significantly better than Damon Williams on the field, and I'm going to get to that in a second. The numbers are really bad for Williams. Okay, so Sam Leavitt's tremendous, right? He's sitting courtside next to Lane Kiffin, and the news comes out, and they're both on their phones, and I'm sure Leavitt's going, what the heck? Damon Williams wants to go to LSU, and LSU's been talking to him. And Lane Kiffin's just sitting there trying to tour Sam Leavitt around campus to convince him to come be his quarterback after, by the way, the day before, Trinidad, who I'm sure Lane Kiffin wanted, said, you know what, I'm going back to Ole Miss. I love the Oxford community, baby. How wild is this? And by the way, of course, Lane Kiffin's caught up in all of this. Like, he's got little to no morals. He's all about the drama. We all know what it is with Lane, man. Let's not even pretend like it's anything else. All he cares about is money and winning, you know? He doesn't care about morals. He doesn't care. Loyalty, obviously. They just had the greatest season in the history of Ole Miss football, and he just left the team before the postseason. Like, Lane Kiffin doesn't care, man. So, but it was also really funny that Sam Leavitt was scheduled to, and I believe, certainly based on reporting, that he was going to hang out with Josh Heupel the next day. It's just quarterback shopping season at this rate, which is just, I don't know, man. I think the solution, when we talk about being solution-oriented and living in the solution, TB12, my solution would be to move the portal window back to the spring, either before spring practices or after spring practices, probably after. But if you move it there, then you don't have to deal with any of this bullshit. This wouldn't even be possible. Like, Sam Leavitt legitimately, like, if there was a real governing body in charge, and again, there is certainly not. That's part of the reason. That was part of the explanation of the House versus NCAA settlement. The NCAA is not governing college football. Like, I don't know if people know that, or if that just seems to be getting glossed over. Like, legitimately, the NCAA is not governing college football anymore. Period. Hard stop. End of story. There is no government or governing body and governing oversight body of college football right now. It's literally lawyers and attorneys who work for players, agents, teams, universities, and then obviously the conference side of it, right? It's crazy, man. It's crazy. Okay, so that's kind of like the wildness and why this story is existing. The other part I want to point out, besides the fact that this is going to just keep happening until legislation changes, and I've said that a million times so much that it's almost boring to talk about. Like, let's kind of find a solution for it rather than just stating the obvious, because we're all, like Herb Street said before the Rose Bowl, we're all in unanimous agreement this is too out of control and we need a governing body in the sport. But like, how do we actually get to that point? Again, for the millionth time, my answer would be Saban and Congress, a real commissioner and a real governing body. The other angle of this Damon Williams story that I wanted to talk to, and by the way, go to Dave Softy Mailer's Twitter page. Softy, not even a UW grad. My buddy Steven says he's a Bellevue Community College grad, and he's still this fired up, which is super funny. He goes on a rant on Damon Williams. Here's the other thing I wanted to get to. Damon Williams is not good. In 3 games, his biggest games of the year against Oregon, Michigan, and Ohio State this year. 3 games, 12 quarters. He had 2 touchdowns and threw 5 interceptions. All 3 games were blowout losses. Now, the Oregon game was close for a second in the fourth quarter, but it never really felt like it was in doubt. Oregon ended up pulling away and winning by double digits. So he played 3 good teams this year: Michigan, Ohio State, and Oregon. 2 touchdowns, 5 picks, 3 blowout losses. UW's getting desperate. Like, why you would even pay a below average to average QB that much money is beyond me. Why LSU wants him is beyond me. I think they thought they were going to get Trinidad, and they're worried that they're not going to get Sam Leavitt, that Josh Heupel's going to... I mean, Josh Heupel's a great QB coach. Maybe Sam Leavitt does end up going there. My prediction is that he goes to LSU. I have no... Like, LSU with Lane, who's certainly a brilliant QB coach, is definitely the best option, in my opinion, as opposed to Tennessee or wherever else Leavitt's getting recruited to. But he doesn't have a lot of options left. I would go to LSU in a heartbeat if I was Sam Leavitt. Probably wouldn't have even left Arizona State in the first place, but again, money calls. So that's the other thing, man, is with the Damon Williams thing that surprises me is he's not very good. Like I've watched 10 games he's played this year. They didn't even get the ball past midfield for the most part, other than a couple drives against Ohio State. And when they got into the red zone, they couldn't do anything with it. Against Oregon, other than the 4th down touchdown pass to Denzel Boston, they didn't do anything on offense the entire game. Like, it's not good. So why anyone would pay him this much money is beyond me, and then let alone him trying to get out of his UW contract. It also shows, it also shows that Jedd Fisch just doesn't have a ton of control of the program. Like, if you are back as the coach, which he is, why do you not have a good relationship with your QB? Why does he want out? I mean, everyone tells me Jedd Fisch is a QB whisperer who does a great job developing QBs, and he might. Like you X's and O's folks, like the actual D1 coaches and players, you can speak to that better than I can. I won't even try to say you're wrong. But if that's true, like, why does Damon Williams have a bad relationship with the coach, or why does he want out? Like, if Jedd Fisch is as good as everyone says he is, a QB that certainly needs to get a lot better would want to stay with him, right? Man, dark times for UW, and it was just all that was so college football. Sam Leavitt sitting courtside with Lane Kiffin in Baton Rouge. Then the Damon Williams story comes out. He wants to go to LSU. Listen, man, if you're LSU, I wouldn't have even let Sam Leavitt leave. What does it take, man? Here's the money. Obviously Trinidad would have been choice number 1 by a mile, but it sounds like he's staying at Ole Miss if he gets that waiver, which is awesome for Ole Miss and awesome for Trinidad, man. I'm happy for him. I really am. I hope he does. He's the best QB in the sport. I would love to see him back at Ole Miss next year. But anyways, I just had to hop on and talk about this Damon Williams stuff, man, because it's getting crazy. With no governing body in college football, things are getting crazy.